Hey, everybody. I'm Conor Jones. This is Jackson Willis. Welcome to your Business Tech Podcast. So happy to be here. Happy to hang out with Jackson. When it's just us two getting together here at the Discover Green Bay podcast room, he'll be the one that's hosting and throwing me questions, and we can banter back and forth with different industry insights. But when we have special guests on, I will be doing the hosting, and I'll be asking questions and gaining insights from different business leaders around Wisconsin. But Jackson, take it away, man.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Jackson. I do marketing at LoyalITy. Connor, why don't you share a bit about your role at LoyalITy? What do you do every day?
Yeah, what do I do every day? If I say the wrong answer, I might not have a job. No, I'm kidding. So, yeah, I work as the managed services consultant at LoyalITy, and it sounds like a fancy title, but really what I do is I go and educate business owners and business leaders around Wisconsin when it comes to their technology. Sometimes they're a fit for what we do, which is providing IT services to small to mid-sized businesses around Wisconsin. Other times they're not a fit for what we do, but I usually have a partner in place that I could either refer them to or get them insights from.
Awesome, yeah. What drew you into this position, into the cybersecurity world?
Yeah, I didn't pick it right out of high school or college. Actually, if I had my choice for what I did out of high school, I would be doing this right now. So it's funny how we come full circle. But yeah, I was working as a copier salesman, just slinging copiers and printers for a long time. Actually, Discover Green Bay was my client back then, which is funny. But that company got bought by an MSP, managed service provider, for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about. And that's how I fell in love with IT and cybersecurity.
Awesome, yeah. How would you describe who we are as a company?
So we are a very community-focused, proactive IT support company that goes about technology strategy a little bit differently than other companies. We have dedicated resources on staff that their only job is to be proactive with people's environments.
Makes sense, yeah. That sounds like it would be super useful. Do you have anything else that makes LoyalITy different from other IT providers and cybersecurity partners?
Yeah, we're fun. No, I'm kidding. But no, we like to have a good time. I went to a Van Halen Experience concert the other day. What am I talking about? This was probably like 7 months ago. But Jason St. Peter, one of my coworkers, dude that you wouldn't expect to be going to these things, he was there hanging out, chilling, having fun. So we like to have fun. We provide insights, and that leads me actually to why we started this podcast, but I won't dive into that yet because I'm sure that's probably one of the questions you're going to ask me.
Well, we can just dive into that question. What inspired you to get into this podcast, starting it, trying to help people, providing tips and stuff?
Yeah, the main thing that got me going with this podcast idea and throwing it around with you and Carrie and the LoyalITy team was the idea that a lot of IT support companies gatekeep their information. And what I mean by that is they have just enough on LinkedIn or just enough on their website to suck you in. And then they're like, wait, here, you got to book a meeting with me before you can learn a little bit more about legitimate tactical things that you can do for your environment. I don't want to do that anymore. I think that's stupid. I think if we are going to help our community, the way that we can help is by providing free insights, and the business will come then. But if we can team together and provide actionable insight to businesses when it comes to their tech, I think that'll make a huge difference for our community.
Definitely. What do you help our clients with every day, and what problems do we take off their plate?
Yeah, so me personally, I don't help with a whole ton of problems. Thankfully, I have experts behind me. I know what you were getting at with the question, but I just wanted to let everyone know on the off chance that you thought this dude was taking care of your firewall. Like, no, you would be hacked in a second if I was taking care of it. But we have a big team behind us, a team of around 15 tech people behind us to help. But some of the ways that we help is we help with day-to-day operations with the IT, whether you're talking help desk tickets or patches and updates. We also help with aligning your technology to best practices and standards, so then some of those help desk tickets don't happen anymore. And we provide the tools and the training that are needed to get the best kind of cyber insurance policy that you can get. So from a super high level, that's what we provide for our clients on a day-to-day basis.
What are some common misconceptions about IT that you see from some of these businesses that you're working with?
It's boring and it's scary. And the people behind the tech are antisocial or impersonal. Like, I've seen my fair share of people that are like that just being in the industry, but I think that it's a horrible misconception to think that technology is boring or IT is boring. Yes, there are some boring aspects to it, but the kind of things that you can do with technology and the kind of things that you can do with a good backbone of technology is amazing. Like being able to create your own AI chatbots or AI agents because you have your stuff in the cloud and like different things that make it so your business can run more efficiently. That's exciting. That's fun. But when people think of IT and technology, they think of some dude just sitting in the basement of his mom's apartment or house and just tapping away at his computer and writing code. That's not technology. That's not IT. It used to be, but that's not IT anymore.
Do you have a favorite tech mishap story? Something funny or surprising that taught you something maybe?
I just learned that we should probably press the record button.
I also learned that green means not recording,
green
red
means not
recording.
That red button means recording. So that's one. But no, there's one that's very easy to point to right now, at least recently, and that's the example of the Louvre heist. Their password was Louvre for their surveillance system. That's so stupid. Like, and so many people do that. So like, if you want to learn something, if you learn one thing from us today, do not have your password be the name of your organization. That's just ridiculous. You're just asking to be hacked. But a more scary, more sinister, and less funny example is there was a business that I talked to 3 or 4 years ago that was working with just their normal day-to-day stuff. They had this email chain going back and forth about like billing and accounting and routing numbers and account numbers. And they didn't know that someone was sitting in their environment, like a bad actor was sitting in their environment. And that bad actor got access to the email thread and changed the account number and changed the routing number. So then when they went to go pay the invoice, poof,
money disappeared.
$200K gone. And that's scary, and that's real, and that happens. And that's the kind of thing that doesn't hit the news for multiple reasons. One, businesses are usually too small for that to even hit the news. But two, it's a PR nightmare. Like, who would want to do business with a company like that? So then you're working with damage control. You're trying to sit and figure out, how do we come back from this, or how do we make it so it doesn't happen? And I know I kind of surprised you with this when we initially recorded and it didn't work. So I'm not going to ask you to guess again how long someone usually stays in the environment without being found. His guess was in the hours before, which is a fair guess. Like, you'd think that would be the case. No, like 16 months. Like, we're talking over a year that someone is sitting in your environment and people don't know.
Yeah, and that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So long. They could be there before Christmas and then be there after next Christmas.
I know, dude, it's insane. And then the amount of sensitive information that's going in and out is just, it's gnarly, dude. It's not fun.
Yeah. And then last question. What's one piece of advice that you could give every business when it comes to technology?
Okay. Well, I'm going to look at all of my business leaders and business people that follow me and follow LoyalITy. Stop looking at tech as this place where you throw money away. Like, I know we've been taught that that's the case. I know that we've been taught that technology is just a nice to have, or it's like, I have to do it. No, technology is the backbone behind every single successful company. Look at all of the good companies, or think of all the ones that pop into your head. I just had about 15 pop into my head just now, but I'll name 2, and they're usually pretty big, at least the 2 that I thought of. Green Bay Packaging and Schneider. They both have massive IT teams. They don't just have like an IT director and then someone else. Granted, they have a huge budget for it, so I get that. But they have like 100+ people on their tech team. How are you going to compete with that? You think you're going to compete with that by just saying, tech is where I throw money? No, you invest in it smartly. You invest in it the same way that people invest in the stock market. And you do it by getting an advisor. You don't do it by just haphazardly doing it yourself. Otherwise, that's an easy way to lose money. So my advice would be, look for people that seem trustworthy and have a good track record to guide you in your technology journey.
Nice. Well, yeah. I think that's all we had for questions, but
sweet.
Next time, Conor's going to be having a guest on.
Yeah. Yep. Our guest is a super special guest. His name is Brad Toll. I don't know how many of you guys know him, but he's the CEO and president at Discover Green Bay, which is where, like I said before, this is where we're housing the podcast. They're nice enough to let us use their podcast room, which is amazing, by the way. Their tech is awesome when we use it properly. Everything is great in here, and thankfully, he agreed to be our first guest. And some of the stuff we're going to be talking about is how the draft impacted our community. We're going to be talking about how the economy is looking for Green Bay and the greater Green Bay area, as well as some tech tips and just his experience from working with a managed service company that took care of them fairly decently to then working for a fully managed, or with a fully managed IT company. And I think people will enjoy the insights.
Yeah, well, awesome. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Thanks for watching.